What if I told you that the words you use could be the key to staying always on his mind? Maybe you're tired of feeling unnoticed, as if your efforts don't make a real, lasting impact. In this video, you will discover 4 powerful phrases that, when spoken at the right moment, effortlessly awaken his desire. And the secret behind these phrases is hidden in the teachings of Carl Jung, something almost no one reveals. Comment below with the word desire if this topic also moves you. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next content that will transform the way you relate. Take a deep breath, because what comes next could change everything. Let's begin. Number 1, the hidden power of words. Why what you say shapes desire. Have you ever paused to consider that words are not just vessels of communication, but subtle keys, unlocking hidden chambers within the human heart? What you say, how you say it, and the silence you weave between phrases carry a power far greater than mere information. They stir the depths of the psyche, calling forth images, emotions, and desires long buried beneath the surface. This is not a trivial notion, for Carl Jung himself emphasized that language often acts as the threshold to the unconscious, the shadow realm where our deepest longings reside. You might think desire is sparked by physical presence, gestures, or chemistry alone. Yet the words you choose are the delicate brushstrokes painting a portrait of connection, sometimes with breathtaking clarity, sometimes with enigmatic mystery. Every phrase you utter can either build a bridge or erect a wall between you and the other. Do you realize that with your voice you can awaken dormant parts of him, parts he may not even fully understand himself? Imagine the unseen world within every person, a vast interior landscape shaped by dreams, fears, hopes, and archetypes, universal patterns that Jung described as the fundamental threads of the collective unconscious. When you speak words that resonate with these archetypes, you do more than converse. You invite an awakening. The phrase becomes a whispered summons to a hidden self, an invitation to step closer into intimacy. There is a myth to dismantle here, the belief that desire can be forced or fabricated with manipulation or superficial charm. This misconception traps many in endless cycles of frustration. Jung warned against such illusions, reminding us that authentic attraction arises only when the conscious and unconscious harmonize, when the words and the soul sing in unison. Words disconnected from genuine feeling ring hollow and fail to stir desire's true flame. You may ask yourself, how can simple phrases hold such transformational power? The answer lies in their ability to convey presence, to mirror the unseen, and to speak directly to the heart's silent language. When you say something that touches his deeper being, you are not merely heard, you are felt. It is as if your voice threads through the labyrinth of his psyche, gently unraveling defenses, revealing vulnerability, and sparking the magnetic pull of connection. Reflect on the times when a few words left you breathless, not because of their content alone, but because they touched a place within you that had been waiting for recognition. Words become a form of presence, a dance between two souls. To awaken desire effortlessly is to understand this dance, to know that what you say is the echo of a deeper communion. Jung once said, "Words are the voice of the heart." This is no casual observation, but a profound truth inviting you to speak not only with your mind, but with the full spectrum of your being. Your words carry the essence of yourself, your authenticity, and your emotional courage. When aligned, they become a beacon drawing desire naturally, like moths to a flame that is not consuming but illuminating. Let your words be more than sound. Let them be a sacred invitation to awaken, to discover, to connect. For desire is not a fleeting spark, but a living fire kindled by the language of soul and shadow. You hold that power. Use it wisely, use it with intention, and watch how effortlessly the depths of desire respond to your call. Number 2, phrase 1, the echo of recognition. I see you. In the silent corners of our souls, there lies an unquenchable yearning to be truly seen, To be acknowledged not for the masks we wear, the roles we perform, or the surfaces we present to the world, but for the raw, unfiltered essence of who we are. When you say to him, "I see you," you are offering more than mere observation. You are extending a profound presence, an act of recognition that reverberates through the depths of his being. Carl Jung understood this intimate longing as fundamental to human connection. He described how every individual constructs a persona, a carefully crafted facade designed to navigate society's expectations. Yet behind this persona dwells the true self, often hidden and fragile, longing to emerge into light. When you affirm his presence with these words, you become the mirror, reflecting not his surface, but the soul beneath, the shadow and the light intertwined. This phrase carries an undeniable potency because it pierces the veil of loneliness. Have you felt the weight of invisibility, the silent ache when your presence is overlooked or misunderstood? Desire awakens not in isolation, but in the fertile soil of being acknowledged. To be seen is to be valued. To be valued is to be desired. When you speak, "I see you," you are doing something radically simple and yet infinitely rare. You break the spell of disconnection that numbs so many relationships. You invite him to drop defenses, to reveal complexities and contradictions without fear. You acknowledge his whole self, the wounded, the joyful, the imperfect, and in doing so, you create space for authentic closeness. In this act of seeing, you touch the archetype of the lover, the eternal seeker of union beyond superficiality. Jung taught that it is in such union, where two souls meet with transparency and vulnerability, that transformation occurs. Desire is not a chase, but a meeting, a sacred dance of mutual recognition. There is courage in offering this phrase because it demands honesty, not only from him but from you. Are you willing to see him truly, with compassion and without judgment? Are you prepared to embrace the discomfort of imperfection, of shadows that linger in every heart? "I see you" is a phrase that holds a promise, the promise of presence, acceptance, and connection. It acknowledges the silent battles, the hidden fears, and the quiet hopes that shape him. In hearing these words, he is invited to step fully into himself, and in doing so, he awakens the desire not just to be seen, but to be known and cherished. Jung reminded us, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." Your recognition may be the catalyst that transforms his solitude into longing, his guarded heart into open desire. Let this phrase be a beacon in your words, a gentle yet powerful echo calling him into the light of your awareness. To see is to invite, and in that invitation lies the effortless awakening of desire. Number 3, phrase 2, the call of mystery. There's more to discover. Desire is a force that thrives not on certainty, but on the tension between knowing and not knowing. When you say, "There's more to discover," you kindle the flame of curiosity, inviting him into an unfolding journey that defies finality. This phrase is not an empty tease. It is an embrace of the unknown, a celebration of complexity that resists simplification. Carl Jung recognized the danger in premature closure. When we believe we have fully understood ourselves or another, we halt growth and suffocate desire. To live fully is to remain open to the vastness of mystery within and without. When you utter these words, you signal that you are a universe expanding, a story still being written. This is a call that ignites the archetype of the explorer, awakening in him the thrill of venturing into uncharted emotional territory. Consider the power of mystery in relationships. It is not a barrier but a bridge, a dynamic pulse that keeps attraction alive. Desire fades when the landscape becomes predictable, when familiarity breeds contempt or indifference. To say, "There's more to discover," is to declare that you are not a closed book, but a labyrinth of experiences, emotions, and secrets, inviting him to wander and wonder. This phrase invites him to step beyond the surface, beyond the rehearsed narratives and easy assumptions. It is an invitation to patience and attentiveness, to savoring the slow unraveling of depths that cannot be rushed or conquered. Desire, in its most profound form, flourishes in this dance of revelation and concealment. There is a profound humility in embracing mystery. It requires courage to resist the urge to explain, to predict, to control. Yet it is in this surrender that authentic connection emerges. Jung believed that the psyche is a living, evolving whole, and only those willing to explore its shadows and light together can truly transform. To offer this phrase is to offer an ongoing adventure, an acknowledgement that both of you are evolving beings, rich with layers yet to be unveiled. It is a promise that your connection is not static, but alive, breathing, and perpetually renewed. Jung's wisdom echoes here. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. When you say there's more to discover, you also affirm your own complexity, your own fears and hopes. You invite him to join you in that brave acceptance, a path that awakens desire through shared vulnerability and endless fascination. Let your words be the opening of doors, not the closing of chapters. In this endless unfolding, desire is not a fleeting spark, but a steady flame, fed by the sacred dance of mystery and discovery. Your voice becomes the call that invites him deeper, effortlessly awakening longing by honoring the unknown within both of you. Number 4, phrase 3, the gift of validation. Your feelings matter. There is a profound human truth that often goes unspoken, the longing to have our feelings honored and embraced as real, valid, and worthy. When you tell him your feelings matter, you extend a sacred gift, a recognition that his emotional world is not a burden or weakness, but an essential part of his being. This phrase carries a quiet yet powerful invitation to show up fully, without shame or disguise. Carl Jung's insight into the psyche teaches us that emotions are not to be dismissed or suppressed, but integrated for wholeness. The shadow, with all its hidden desires and fears, demands acknowledgement. To validate someone's feelings is to offer a bridge over the chasm of isolation that so often surrounds inner pain and confusion. In your words, he finds a refuge where vulnerability is met not with judgment, but with acceptance. Desire is awakened in spaces where safety reigns. Emotional safety is a fertile ground for connection because it allows the heart to relax, to unfold without armor. When you say your feelings matter, you are not merely comforting. You are empowering him to inhabit his full self. You dissolve the myth that strength requires emotional restraint. Instead, you honor the courage it takes to feel deeply. In a society that often prizes stoicism and control, this phrase challenges ingrained paradigms. You offer a radical alternative, a sanctuary for emotional truth. Jung emphasized that repression of feelings leads to inner fragmentation and neurosis. Desire, then, cannot thrive in a realm where emotions are denied or belittled. Only through validation can intimacy bloom. This phrase also calls for your own emotional maturity. To hold space for another's feelings without trying to fix or change them requires strength and serenity. It is a practice of witnessing, an act of love that transcends words. You embody the archetype of the caregiver and the wise companion, inviting him to trust and lean into the connection. When you validate his feelings, you transform desire from a fleeting spark into a lasting flame. You anchor attraction in authenticity and respect. Jung reminds us, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. By acknowledging his emotional shadows, you illuminate the path toward genuine closeness. Your voice becomes a gentle but unwavering affirmation that his inner world is seen, valued, and embraced. In this sacred exchange, desire awakens not from possession or need, but from the freedom of being truly accepted. Let your words be the harbor where his heart finds rest, and in that rest discovers its longing. Speak with the courage to honor what is often hidden. In doing so, you open the door to a desire rooted in trust, depth, and profound connection. Number 5, phrase 4, the invitation to growth. Let's explore this together. There is a profound difference between desire born from possession and desire born from shared journey. When you say, let's explore this together, you extend an invitation not only to connection, but to transformation. This phrase signifies partnership, an alignment of two evolving selves ready to face the unknown side by side, bound by curiosity and mutual respect. Carl Jung's concept of individuation, the lifelong process of becoming whole, resonates deeply here. He taught that true relationship is not a static union, but a dynamic interplay where both individuals grow by confronting their shadows and embracing their light. By inviting him to explore together, you acknowledge that desire flourishes through growth, challenge, and discovery, not through complacency or certainty. This phrase breaks the illusion that desire is a fixed point, a final conquest to be claimed. Instead, it affirms that attraction thrives in movement, in shared quests toward deeper understanding. It creates a space where vulnerability becomes a strength, and where the unknown is not feared but welcomed as an opportunity for intimacy and renewal. To say, let's explore this together, is to reject the notion of relationship as control or dominance. It is a call to equality and mutual respect, to honoring each other's paths without trying to diminish or possess. In this way, desire transforms from mere passion into a sacred dialogue between souls. Jung observed, every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. This warns us against clinging to illusions or fixations that stifle growth. Your words resist this trap by fostering a healthy interdependence, a shared journey where desire is nourished by freedom and discovery. This phrase requires emotional courage. It asks you to relinquish the need for certainty and to embrace the unfolding mystery of relationship. It invites him to step beyond surface attraction and enter the realm of deep connection where both are changed. In offering this invitation, you reveal your own readiness to grow and evolve. Your voice becomes a beacon for genuine intimacy, one that honors the complexities and contradictions within each person. Together, you embark on a path that is as much about becoming as about being. Let your words be the gateway to transformation. In this shared exploration, desire is awakened effortlessly, not by possession, but by the promise of becoming more. Together, without fear, without pretense, in the sacred dance of growth and connection. Number 6, deconstructing myths. Desire is not control or manipulation. It is a pervasive illusion to believe that desire can be manufactured, forced, or controlled through calculated words or actions. This belief, seductive in its simplicity, often leads to frustration, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. Desire is not a commodity to be traded, nor a puzzle to be solved by clever strategies. It is a living, breathing force that emerges naturally from the authentic interplay of souls. Recognizing this truth is essential to freeing yourself from the toxic cycle of control and performance. Carl Jung warned us about the dangers of trying to impose order on the unconscious. He understood that the psyche resists manipulation, especially when it is approached with force or artifice. When you attempt to orchestrate desire as if it were a predictable reaction, you miss the profound mystery that animates human attraction. Desire arises not from coercion, but from resonance, an alignment between inner worlds that cannot be scripted or engineered. This myth, that desire can be controlled, feeds the fear of vulnerability. It tempts you to adopt masks, rehearsed lines, and calculated moves in hopes of securing affection or attention. Yet these efforts erect walls rather than bridges. They create distance, not closeness. The paradox is clear. The harder you try to command desire, the more it slips away, like water through clenched fingers. To awaken desire effortlessly, you must relinquish the illusion of control and embrace authenticity. This means speaking not to manipulate, but to invite, not to impress, but to connect. Jung's insights remind us that the unconscious is alive, unpredictable, and sovereign. True desire honors this sovereignty, flowing only when met with respect and presence. Deconstructing this myth also requires courage to face your own fears of rejection, inadequacy, and invisibility. These fears often drive the impulse to control others' feelings. Yet Jung's wisdom illuminates a path beyond fear. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. By bringing awareness to your motives, you free yourself from patterns that hinder genuine connection. Desire, in its purest form, is a mutual awakening, an alchemy that cannot be forced but must be invited. When your words arise from truth and your intentions from presence, you become a beacon that draws rather than pushes. This transformation moves desire from the realm of manipulation into the sacred dance of authentic encounter. In shedding the illusion of control, you reclaim your power, not as a commander, but as a radiant presence. This is the power that awakens desire effortlessly, not by constriction, but by expansive freedom. Let your words be a mirror of your genuine self, and watch how desire responds to authenticity rather than artifice. Number 7. The inner work, aligning your words with your being. The words you speak hold their deepest power when they arise from a place of authentic presence. It is not enough to memorize phrases or craft sentences designed to capture attention. Desire responds to congruence between what you say and who you are. The voice that awakens longing is not merely heard by the ears, but felt by the spirit, resonating only when your inner world reflects your outer expression. Carl Jung profoundly emphasized the importance of inner wholeness. He taught that the persona, the mask we wear to navigate the external world, must be aligned with the true self to create genuine connection. When your words emerge from a dissonant place, from fear or insecurity masked as confidence, they ring hollow. Desire falters before the shadow of inauthenticity. This alignment requires courageous introspection. It asks you to face your fears, your wounds, your unspoken truths, and to integrate them into your conscious self. Only through this integration can your words become bridges rather than barriers. Jung reminds us that one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Your shadows, once acknowledged, become the source of your power and magnetism. When your phrases flow from emotional maturity and self-awareness, they invite him not only into your words, but into the essence of who you are. This invitation creates a safe, magnetic space where desire can unfold naturally. It is a call to depth beyond surface attraction, to connection beyond fleeting impressions. To align your words with your being is to embrace vulnerability with strength, to communicate from a grounded place rather than from need or manipulation. This is the language of true desire, quiet, steady, and deeply compelling. It honors both your autonomy and your openness, weaving together self-respect with invitation. Consider how often we speak to please or to protect ourselves, rather than to reveal our authentic selves. The inner work is the path that liberates you from these patterns. It enables you to speak with confidence that comes not from control, but from genuine presence. This presence becomes a beacon that calls desire effortlessly. Let your voice carry the weight and lightness of your truth. In the harmony of words and being, desire awakens, not as a manufactured effect, but as the natural response to your authentic self. This is the gift of alignment, the sacred space where connection deepens and longing grows. In your journey inward, your words become the reflection of your soul's light and shadow, inviting him to meet the fullness of who you are. And in that meeting, desire is born anew. Number 8, the invitation, words as a sacred dance of connection. In the vast theater of human connection, words are more than tools. They are the sacred choreography of desire. When you speak the phrases that awaken longing, you do not merely exchange sounds. You engage in a dance of presence and invitation, vulnerability and strength, known and unknown. This dance transcends technique and enters the realm of soul, where true connection breathes and transforms. Carl Jung understood relationships as alchemical meetings of two distinct yet complementary selves. He said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." Your words become the catalyst of this transformation, the spark that ignites change not only in him, but within yourself. To wield language as a sacred dance is to embrace the mystery of influence without domination, of invitation without coercion. This dance requires attentiveness to rhythm and space, the pauses between words, the unspoken currents flowing beneath conversation. Desire awakens not only in what is said, but in what is felt and sensed. Your voice becomes a melody, a rhythm that calls to the unconscious, echoing archetypes and deep emotional currents. In this interplay, words cease to be mere signals and become living bridges between souls. The sacredness of this dance lies in its reciprocity. It honors both your voice and his, your boundaries and his freedom. It is a dialogue, a meeting of depths where desire arises organically, unforced and unconfined. To approach your words this way is to cultivate presence, patience, and reverence, a triad that nurtures longing and intimacy alike. In embracing this sacred exchange, you also embrace transformation. The words you speak become invitations to growth, healing, and discovery, both for him and for you. Jung's insight illuminates this path. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Your conscious words become tools of awakening, inviting both of you to step into greater awareness and connection. Let your language be a dance, a sacred movement that awakens desire not by chasing or capturing, but by inviting and revealing. This is the art of connection rooted in authenticity, emotional maturity, and spiritual depth. In this space, desire flows naturally, effortlessly, as the beautiful expression of two souls meeting. You hold within your voice the power to invite him into this dance, to awaken not just desire, but transformation. Speak with intention, with presence, and with the courage to be fully yourself. In this sacred dialogue, desire is not a fleeting spark, but a living fire, endlessly renewed by the dance of connection. May your words become the music that calls him closer, the invitation that awakens his heart, and the sacred dance where both your desires meet and transform.